Dearborn, Michigan is currently in the midst of some sort of civil war. It is a Christian versus Muslim battle to the death going on in Dearborn, Michigan right now. Now, one pretty insane thing that's going on is the fact that Jews have nothing to do with it. This is a colossal W because normally everything that happens is the Jews' fault. But this one, it's the other guys. So this is huge. Anyway, let me just show you a clip of an example of what happened on the Dearborn Muslim versus Christian battle.
Why do you hope that? You hope he gets killed because you don't like him? What? You hope he gets killed because you don't like him? Yeah? Is that what Muslims believe? Oh, well, you're a Muslim, right? And you believe it. Why? Do you think maybe it's a value problem? It seems that way. You're not representing your people very well right now. Yeah, so you want him dead because you don't like him. You want him dead because you don't like him. Yeah, right, yeah. Get the fuck out of here. Get away.
Yeah, so this dude saw a protest going on because Dearborn, Michigan is falling into the hands of certain relatively unruly people. Well, they're going out and calling for protesters and journalists to get Charlie Kirked. I hope Jake gets Charlie Kirked. I hope you get Charlie Kirked. This is what they're yelling and screaming in the streets in this mostly peaceful protest. So anyway, this is the Dearborn lore, all right? Because you are not ready for what you're about to witness. You're about to witness a battle where the police are actively defending the Muslims that are beating the shit out of Christians, all right? There's no other way to say it. This is an insane story, and it's basically not being covered on any part of the mainstream news. This is a massive brawl with thousands of participants.
It was settled in 1786. You can see right there on the sign, it's either a Catholic or a Christian church next to a vehicle.
No, it's clearly a Muslim church.
Because this is nearby where Ford was started. And Dearborn, Michigan now is the largest, if not one of the only towns here in America where the population is majority Muslims.
That's right, baby. Majority Muslim city in the United States of America. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Their teachings definitely align with a lot of Christian teachings, especially where it says in the Quran to kill Jews and Christians. That is a very Christian-style teaching, so there's nothing to be fear here. And if you think there is a problem, then you're Islamophobic.
As being part of the religion of Islam, right now, 55% of the population here inside of Dearborn belong to the Islam religion.
It's kind of weird how this keeps happening. Now, again, this is cancel worthy, and I'm scared to say this out loud, or I don't want the Muslim Mossad to come after me for this one. But you'll notice that when the Muslims are a minority, they're always being oppressed. And it's a true tragedy how they're being oppressed. And everyone needs to gather together to fight for the rights of the minority Muslims. And then once the Muslims become the majority, they start kicking the Christians out of their cities, like in Dearborn.
Yesterday, you saw clashes between Christian protesters and Islam protesters as things got pretty wild, as a man even brought out bacon and slapped the Quran with bacon. And then
so it got pretty crazy.
He did try to light the Quran on fire. Muslims obviously came in and took the Quran. If a Muslim were to do that to the Bible, you'd see the exact same response. So things got super wild. And then you also had a man who was running for governor just a few weeks ago. He was then talking about not liking Islam, Sharia law, and all that. And then he switched his position on that.
Obviously, no duh.
Came here to Dearborn and realized that there are some really nice members of Islam.
True.
And he had a clash with a man by the name of Jake Lang, and things just...
So Jake Lang is a Jan 6er who decided to show up in Dearborn to the protest. It's a pretty diabolical situation. Anyway, I gotta catch you up on the lore. So this is the Mayor Abdullah Hamoud of Dearborn, Michigan. And this is a Christian pastor.
I mean, Hezbollah, bombed the embassy in Beirut, and including many Americans. So I just feel it's quite inappropriate.
So basically, what this pastor was saying, this pastor said, "Yo, let's not name the street after Hezbollah terrorists that have killed Americans." This is the response.
You're an Islamophobe, and although you live here, I want you to know as mayor, you are not welcome here. And the day you move out of the city will be the day that I launch a parade celebrating the fact that you moved out of the city, because you are not somebody who believes in coexistence.
So then Mayor Abdul Hamoud threw the Christian pastor out of the city for saying, yo, we should actually not be naming streets after Islamic terrorists. Now, another thing that you will notice if you pay attention to what's been going on the streets of Dearborn, Michigan, is the very common chants of death to America. Al-Magda America means death to America. Yeah, that was Dearborn, Michigan.
What a great look. The mayor condemned it. The White House condemned it. But what about Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib?
Spoilers, she doesn't condemn it. Anyway, I didn't want to get too into the weeds of the past. So this is that same Abdullah Hamoud. He just went on a podcast. This is a podcast that I think was released yesterday. And let's just say some of the things he said on this podcast were a little bit scary. Dearbornistan is growing.
Because what you often...
Yeah, saying death to America is mostly peaceful. It's a critique of American imperialism. It doesn't literally mean death to America. At least that's what I was told by Hassan Piker and Tucker Carlson. Pretty weird that they decided to work together on that one.
Here that it's accompanied with that as well. You must assimilate.
You must assimilate to the country. All right, makes sense. I mean, you're an immigrant. You should assimilate to the country.
I shouldn't put out a magazine that's in 2 languages. Why can't you speak English? Why are my videos subtitled in Arabic? Why is my caption both in English and Arabic? People get frustrated by this. But to me, it's like, I actually disavow the use of the term the melting pot. I actually don't like it. Why? Because in a melting pot, when you're talking about like a soup, everything looks the same. Right. We're the salad bowl. The lettuce is lettuce, the tomato is tomato, the cucumber is cucumber, and they all complement each other.
In other words, we refuse to assimilate to American culture. In fact, we are going to remain a thorn in American culture's side, and we refuse to become homogenized in any possible way. And, you know, we're going to sit here, we are going to be different, and we are going to outbreed you and take over. That's kind of what it sounds like he's saying. I don't know, maybe I'm reading a little too deep into this, but that's pretty crazy. That's pretty insane. Now, anyway, this is why Americans are protesting the Islam invasion of Dearborn, Michigan. Now, before I show you the actual riot, I have to show you the reason for the riot. The Dearborn chief of police proudly spoke on replacing Americans' Dearborn police forces with Arabs. The police force went from 3% Arabs to 45% Arabs, Muslims. Dearborn chief of police spoke in Arabic saying, Hamdulillah, Hamdulillah, all praise is due to Allah, in America's first Arab majority city. Dearborn is renaming American streets after not just Arabs, that's fine, who cares, Islamic terrorists that are part of Hezbollah. The Dearborn police enforced Sharia law against a YouTuber. They made him make a public apology, published for 3 years for doing it. All right. Police badge features Arabic script. Dearborn has confirmed planned Muslim terrorist attack planned for Halloween stopped by the FBI. For the record, this was a true fact. This basically didn't get news coverage either because thank God nothing happened. But on Halloween, a bunch of Muslims were planning a terrorist attack. They gathered a ton of weapons and explosives. And their stated goal was that, Halloween is a pagan holiday and they wanted to, attack people on Halloween. Thank God the FBI stopped that from happening. But anyway, Wall Street Journal wrote an article titled Welcome to Dearborn, America's Jihad Capital. The mayor, Abdullah Hamoud, tells Americans to get out of their city if they don't like streets being renamed after, Hezbollah terrorists. The mosques in Dearborn, Michigan broadcast the Islamic call to prayer blasted throughout the city 5 times a day starting at 5 a.m. Dearborn, during the April 2024 International Al-Quds Day rally, protesters chanted death to America, with speakers labeling the U.S. as one of the rottenest countries. Dearborn, Michigan, ladies and gentlemen. So that's basically what caused this protest and slight scuffle. So Fox News, this is wild. Fox 2's David Kinchin claimed that the violent mob of Muslims throwing rocks, punching, pepper spraying, shoving, and robbing protesters last night was actually promoting peace. Of course, obviously, it was mostly peaceful lynchings. This is crazy. So thank you, media. Very cool. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of clips that I gathered from this because there's hundreds of hours of footage from multiple perspectives. I gathered what I thought was the most epic.
I don't want to get close. I can't hear you. I don't want
to. So you got all these guys out there behind the fences. They're yelling. They're screaming. You got some Antifa as part of the crowd, like with the inflatable dinosaurs and shit. So far, pretty peaceful, right? Yelling Allahu Akbar. Very cool. God is pretty great. Anywho, so it gets a little wilder. This is Cam Higbee. He's like boots on the ground journalist. And essentially, he got pepper sprayed for no reason at the anti-Islam protest.
Sir, why is he not welcome on a public sidewalk?
Get the camera out of my face. Get that camera out of my face or I will take it from you, okay?
So, he got assaulted for filming in public.
Phone right here.
Is this phone? All right, guys, he just got pepper sprayed for attacking and assaulting someone. No, you're not gonna get your phone. Actually, you get it. Here you go. There we go. Yeah.
Is that crazy?
Come on in.
So they literally just pepper sprayed this guy for no reason.
No!
I got his phone. Right there.
All right. Just stack.
Yep. So that's insane.
Guys, as you can see here, this is my jug that was water. We got a bunch of...
Bro, poor guy. So, for the record, this is a YouTuber. All right? This is a YouTuber that went out there and, you know, he was filming the protest. He was there for less than 30 minutes, and he got pepper sprayed. Antifa terrorist harassing a Christian protester in Dearborn. I asked him why he didn't have the right to be on a public sidewalk, and then he immediately pepper sprayed him for no reason. Absolutely no reason. Mostly peaceful pepper spraying. Zero actual violence occurred. This wasn't self-defense. This was just pepper spraying the guy for no reason. Very cool. So this is pretty wild. So this is Jake Lang. As you can see, this is a random Muslim fellow that joins the protest to make believe he's on the side of the protest, and then he just beats the shit out of this guy for no reason. And if you look at the actual tweets, it's like, that J6 MAGA domestic terrorist Jake Lang was punched in the face today while leading his racist march in Dearborn. Congratulations on proving them right. You just punched a random man for expressing his opinion. Now, I know a lot of people, if your family fails to punish you for your bad behavior, someone else will. Yeah, well, Mrs. Watermelon, let's try to use that logic against Palestine, against Gaza that decided to start a war, all right, that they knew they'd lose. All right, let's use that same logic there, should we? So this is the insanity that we have to deal with, man. Like, this is the actual crazy situation. Because the reality is, it's so frustrating this is happening in America. I'm not gonna lie. It's actually so frustrating that this happens in America. But anyway, so this is basically what we have here. A guy just gets assaulted, punched in the face for taking part in a completely peaceful protest. All right? This isn't bombing anybody. This isn't blowing up cars. This isn't keying Teslas. It's not throwing bricks at police officers. It is none of that whatsoever. This is literally the most peaceful of peaceful protests. And this dude punches him and runs away. He gets praise from the retards in the audience. And the craziest part of it all is, this is coming off the back of 2 years of radical Palestine protests that are being done by jihadis. Like, that's the craziest part. Like, dude, you conquered the protest game. All right, you have colonized the protesting sphere in America. All right, now this dude walks with an American flag and they beat the shit out of him. Like, that's the craziest part. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe the Jews control the government. Anyway, meanwhile, Palestine protests on every college campus in America constantly. Right, so a conservative protester got arrested at an anti-Muslim protest. This is insane. So you have a Muslim guy attacks a conservative Christian guy. The Christian gets arrested.
You have to see they arrested a conservative. Officers, what are you arresting him for? What are you arresting him for? What's the probable cause? What's the probable cause? You have to state a legal reason for arresting this man. What is it? What is the legally stated reason for arresting this man?
Bro refused to pay the jizya tax.
What is the legally recognized reason for arresting this man? What's the probable cause?
He refused.
What is the probable cause? Name and badge number. Name and badge number. They won't arrest a single Muslim. There's been multiple attacks, but of course they'll arrest somebody on the other side immediately.
Yep.
What is the probable cause for arresting him?
Pretty weird.
Officer, were you here just a second ago when the guy got arrested? Habeas corpus, articulate suspicion for arresting that man. Name and badge number, please. Name and badge number. Name and badge number, please, sir.
This is
name
crazy.
And badge number. I want your name and your badge number. Are you denying me your name and your badge number? Are you denying name and badge number? Get out of my face, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Stop. You'll do what?
Whoa.
You'll do what? You'll do what? I want his name and badge number. I have a legally recognized reason to ask him his name and badge number. I'm asking name and badge number.
And harass our people?
Right here.
You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that.
Officer, he's following me. What are you gonna do? Who took my hat? He just took my hat.
Bro stole his hat in front of the police. Nothing happens. Guy protests against whatever he's protesting about. It's, freedom of speech. He's allowed to do it. And Officer Mohammed bin Laden Hussein decided to arrest that guy instead. This is tiring. So now we have Antifa defending cops arresting conservatives. The cops are a majority Muslim police force. Pretty weird how that keeps happening. This is insane. This is absolute insanity. Now, they're not revealing their name and badge number, but remember, the ICE agents that are literally getting shot and harassed, and they're trying to assassinate ICE agents and their family members. Those guys are getting blasted by the media for not identifying themselves to illegal invaders when they arrest them. These police refuse to show their name and badge number while they arrest people without ever expressing a reason for why they're arresting people. This is just so frustrating. Dude, if there wasn't a double standard, there would be no standard at all. Do you see how insane this is? So ICE will arrest an illegal invader. Everyone loses their mind because he's not identifying himself. Here you have a police identifying someone for freedom of speech purposes without expressing the reason why they're being arrested, and refuse to identify themselves too. This is absolute insanity. And you have these guys literally committing crimes. Like, look at this guy smiling in the background. This dude just stole his hat, right? So this dude stole his hat in front of the police. No one does anything. He's just giggling in the background. Chances are bigger that the conservative guy is going to end up getting arrested. It gets worse. It gets a lot worse. So, Wall Street Apes Twitter account says this is a national emergency.
I believe they're going to cancel the 6:30 City Hall meeting because everybody's being the out. They're cheaping the fuck out. I don't have bananas. Chill out.
Do you see this? How they just surrounded these journalists? Like, these are all journalists. This is Jake Lang. This is Nick Shirley. There are a couple of journalists. And they're being surrounded by a whole group of guys.
This is not America. This is an insurgency. They are taking over our country.
That's terrifying.
They're taking over our country. They want us all dead. Let's go.
Wow, what's happening right now? People are pushing. Wow.
That's crazy. Oh my God. Oh Lord. That's wild. Anyway, check this out. This is awesome. This is a Christian who gets spit on by a Muslim, so the police arrest the Christian.
He just sprayed him. He just sprayed him. Did they just spray you? Did they spray you? You spit on his face.
Bro.
Green keffiyeh right over here. Spit right in the guy's face.
For the record, spitting in somebody's face is actually considered assault. It is assault. Some would argue it might be even considered assault with a deadly weapon, because AIDS. No, this is actually a real thing. This is a real thing, genuinely. It really, like, I'm not joking. This is a real actual law. So now guess if they're gonna arrest the guy that just spat on someone.
No! Green keffiyeh. He spit on his face. They're gonna arrest him. Watch this. They're gonna arrest him.
Where the action is.
Yeah.
Officer's pushing me.
Bro, this is America.
He got his face. He got spit on. He didn't touch anyone. He got spit on.
All right, so dude gets spit on. Let's see.
They're literally gonna arrest him.
He's lost. He is lost. He is lost.
Did you find that guy? No, because the police didn't do anything, so I couldn't have him arrested. They wouldn't.
So dude gets spit on. They refuse to arrest the guy that spits on him. Instead, they take the guy that gets spit on and they interrogate him. Holy crap, bro. This is wild, and this is crazy. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, this is gonna cause so much Islamophobia to Zoran Mamdani's aunt. I don't even know how we could stop it. It's like, dude, so people decided they had enough.
We've taken the seats of Dearborn.
Bro!
We've taken the...
Bro, is this dude holding up a pig? That's crazy. That's crazy. Right, Antifa's going around yelling that they're fascists, obviously. Classic. So it gets even hairier. It gets even hairier. Yep. Yeah, this is gonna go well. Yeah, break it up, guys. Yeah, go back to Europe. They're telling the Christian guy in America. There is no way. It's crazy, bro. Listen, I'm Jewish. I got used to this, man. I got used to this, bro. All right, so I hear the go back to Europe shit from time to time, you know. But like, this is wild.
What's wrong with being 5'2", baby?
All right, so the police finally get involved after this dude got sworn by like 24 guys. Guy threatens him. He says, "I know what your face looks like." Cool. Yeah, well, that's what we're doing. Now, a lot of you might not be aware of this, but if you see this crowd, there is about a 50% chance that every individual in this crowd is inbred. Anyway, moving on. I'm not trying to be racist. This is not racist. This is statistics. Okay, I'm just being real here. I am just being real. I'm being very honest. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying, like, there is a high likelihood of inbreeding. So this is wild, bro. This is a crazy protest.
Jesus Christ is King of Dearborn. Jesus Christ is King of Dearborn. Pick up your vision and walk, America. Not be asleep. Wake up before the giant of Islam crushes you. Let's roll.
Bro. So that's wild. Yeah, and he's going up against all the first cousins. It's crazy. So anyway, oh, I totally forgot about this. There's an entire group of people trying to turn this into like a Jewish psyop. Right, like the people that blame everything that happens in all of history on the Jews, they blame this on the Jews. Also, you'll see soon, but this is like, oh my God, this one guy that's saying Jesus Christ is king, he once went to the Western Wall in Israel. He must be a secret plant to turn the Christians against the Muslims that are directly threatening to kill the Christians. Wow, Look at those sneaky Jews. Anyway, so anywho, it keeps getting wilder. It keeps getting wilder. This story, I'm gonna show you some of the crash outs about that. So this is awesome. This is also in Dearborn, I'm pretty sure.
Narratives that you're getting from Dearborn is completely false.
So when
Dearborn narrative is false, the guy says about Dearborn, the place that is throwing Christians out and arresting Christians for getting spit on by Muslims. So so the narrative you heard is false. Okay.
this group of young men here, who is the next generation, marching Allah Akbar, what is that?
That is
Yeah, what does Allah Akbar mean, bro?
God is the greatest.
God is the greatest. Don't you disagree? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? The terror attacks were foiled so far. Literally, why are you worried?
God, Jesus is the greatest?
Yes.
So the way that you guys say Jesus is king, Jesus is God, Jesus son of God, is why we say Allahu Akbar.
Okay.
It means there's only one God and
It's
one...
so weird because like I've heard Christians saying Jesus is king and stuff. I've never like seen that happen like in the context of terror attacks. I mean, I've seen, Jews saying Baruch Hashem, which means, praise God. I have not seen that in the context of terror attacks either. Now, Allahu Akbar specifically, I'm not trying to be rude. Specifically, there's like a historical context there that makes it different to some people.
True God.
Yeah.
You guys...
It's not any, because I think a lot of people would interpret that as a threat or something that happened
Right,
before.
because of 9/11, and
Yes.
who created the narrative of 9/11? It's the
Probably
Jews, not the Jews, the
government?
Zionists.
Who created the narrative of 9/11? The Jews. I mean, the Zionists. Bro has all of his Hassan Piker talking points. Yes. You see, this is just another classic of Jews manipulating people to feel like it's actually bad when the Muslims crashed planes into the Twin Towers and killed 3,000 people. The Jews tricked everyone into being like, whoa, those 3,000 people maybe shouldn't have died, actually. Maybe the real victim isn't Zohran Mamdani's aunt. I mean, the Zionists. I love that the mask just slips like that. It's like, no, we don't hate Jews. No, not at all. We just hate Zionists, the ideology.
No, unfortunately, it's the Zionists. It's the government and the Zionists together.
It's the Zionists. 9/11, the narrative was created by the Jews. I mean, the Zionists.
Yeah.
It's one whole entity. They formed that narrative and destroying the name of Islam the same way we are.
To be real, I think the Muslims that flew the planes into the Twin Towers and then killed 3,000 people, and the mass partying and celebration over the entire Islamic world in the Middle East, I think that did more to ruin the name of Islam than the Jews, I mean the Zionists, that said actually it's bad when you fly planes into towers and kill 3,000 people in one day. Again, matters of perspective, I suppose. But I think it was probably the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people celebrating in the streets of Iran and Syria and the United Arab Emirates and Palestine. It was probably all those guys celebrating that made people think that actually it's not very nice that they flew planes into the Twin Towers.
You guys are scared that Islam is gonna destroy the name of Christianity.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen, never will happen.
I mean, it says in the Quran that that's the plan, but I guess the Quran is wrong.
We won't allow that if we get any extremists out of the countries, because there are both sides.
Both sides.
So we don't say...
Both sides. Literally, both sides. Islam has committed 48,000 terror attacks since 9/11. Christians have committed, what, 10? Both sides. Both sides.
Defend the extremists that
Cover your hair, you blonde whore. Sorry.
actually say, absurd things. That's it. We live in peace here. There is no problem here. You can interview every single American, Italian, Jew, anything you like. They will all tell you the same thing. We are united here. These young generation here.
How come nobody's smoking weed? Everybody be much happier.
True.
So yeah, this young generation, they're influenced. They're
Yeah.
influenced by
The Jews, I mean the Zionists.
the internet, how people react to things. They want to be the front voice of things. So, yeah, they're sitting there chanting Allahu Akbar, but that is because it means God is the greatest. The same way Jake Lang was shouting, Christ is king. Now, we don't take that as an offense at all.
You punched him in, not you, but someone literally just assaulted him, punched him in the face on camera, and people celebrated it. So, no, you do take offense, clearly.
But who takes that to offense? Jake Lang and his little proxies.
Yeah, you know who else might take offense? Let me see if I can find it again. Yeah, so this is Jake Lang saying Christ is king. Yeah, so obviously someone did take offense. But again, that's just a matter of perspective, I suppose. Words are violent and violence isn't violent. That's what the left taught me. So anyway, no, obviously I think this lady's just like interviewing. I don't think she's like evil or anything. But I think this is one of the greatest lines of all time.
The false, that is, God is the greatest. Don't you say God is king, Jesus is God, Jesus son of God, is why we say Allahu Akbar.
Okay.
It means there's only one God and one true God.
Yeah.
You guys...
It's not any, because I think a lot of people would interpret that as a happened
Right,
before.
because of 9/11. And
Yes.
Right. So this is my favorite part of this entire video.
the narrative of 9/11. It's the
Probably
Jews, not the Jews, the
government?
Zionists. No,
The narrative of 9/11 created by the Jews. I mean, the Zionists. Yeah, that's a banger. So anyway, Cam Higbee over here, he decides to go to a police officer. This is after he got pepper sprayed, for the record. So he got pepper sprayed for no reason. He was assaulted, not in self-defense. He goes up to a police officer and he asks the police officer if he can make a police report on the person that literally just assaulted him.
My main issue here is that you said I can go into the station later and file a report. He's in black bloc. You're never gonna find him again.
Right? Because this is a dude in Antifa masking or whatever that assaults this guy, right? Just pepper sprays him for no reason. And he's like, yo, I would like to file a police report against this guy. That guy, pointing at him. The police officer says, well, why don't you just go to the station and make a police report in the station? It's like, this guy didn't show me his social security card, okay? Like, he's wearing a mask. I can't just make a police report against some random guy. Like, he's right there, sir.
You will never find him again. The detective will not find him. I promise you, I've been in this situation before. You're never gonna find him. He's masked head to toe. You will never find him again. Yeah, that is shitty
Just go file a police report, sir. Habibi, go file a police report. There's nothing to see here.
police work. It's lazy. So you know that a crime happened, and you're gonna let it slide because why? Then go arrest him.
No, me letting it slide? My brother, my friend, Bubba. I would never let it slide. Just go to the police station and make a police report. I can't leave my post, he says. I cannot leave my post.
Okay, find me somebody who can.
Just go to the police station and make a police report.
Okay, yeah, find the police report after he's gone and you'll never find him again. This is lazy police work. You are a lazy police officer. Or you just don't want to get him.
Correct.
One of the two. Yeah, I'm gonna be reporting that police officer.
And everyone's like, all these, look at all this Zionism that's happening in Dearborn, Michigan, guys.
You know, I'll get his name and badge number real
So
quick.
dude's like, he walks away for like 2 seconds. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna actually go get his name and badge number immediately, because now I'm not just gonna file a police report against the guy that assaulted me, but also I'm gonna I'm gonna see if this officer can actually face repercussions for being a complete wanker. So he goes back to get the badge number, the police officer. Could anyone guess what happens when he returns to the guy that can't leave his post? Epic foreshadowing. Like, I feel like this was literally written by like J.R.R. Tolkien. All right, you got the guy, the Muslim police officer, not wanting to arrest the Muslim guy that assaulted him, and dude's like, he cannot leave his post. That's why he's not arresting the guy. All right, let's see.
Before we leave, I'm gonna get his name and badge number.
Makes sense. What?
Oh, I thought he couldn't leave his post.
Well,
Mark, he's not even here.
But where did he go? Literally within 30 seconds. But 30 seconds later, bro disapparated out of there.
Here anymore. He said he couldn't leave his post.
Gonzo. Goodbye.
We're gonna go right over there. We're gonna say hi to him.
He went into one of the Jew tunnels, probably. That's how he escaped.
We're gonna get his name and badge number before we leave.
He went on a secret magical Egyptian plane that Candace Owens was talking about.
Hey, officer!
Dude, he's chasing them down.
Couldn't leave his post. Here he is running.
Couldn't leave his post, and he's running away. He's literally running away.
Officer.
Oh my god.
Officer!
Officer, I thought you couldn't leave your post, sir. Hello?
Officer who couldn't leave your post. Can I get name and badge number real quick?
All right, he found him. He found
Officer.
him. He found him making a personal call in the parking lot when he couldn't leave his post to arrest a guy that assaulted someone in public. Absolutely diabolical.
You said you couldn't leave your post a second ago. That was a lie. Can I get your name and badge number before I leave? Name? Okay, thank you.
Well, he knows nothing's gonna do to him because all of his superiors actually support exactly what he's doing.
You can leave your post to take a personal phone call, but not to make an arrest, apparently.
Yeah, well...
Violent attack, you can't leave your post. Personal phone call? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's it, baby! Dude, is that not absolute insanity? Like, we are so cooked. We are so cooked, and it's spreading like crazy. So this is the guy, Akbar Alabd, obviously a Zionist. So this is a Zionist Akbar Alabd, classic radical Christian. Straight white Christian male over here. Dearborn this morning, police chief, and this is the actual report saying that, yep, this is pretty awful. Dude is cooked. And this is the guy with his nice little gay little smirk. So anyway, one thing I noticed about Dearborn, says Cam Higbee, the guy that I just showed his footage, when you call Muslim figures of authority out and plead for help, they will maniacally smile at you. But that's just racist. That's okay, guys. This is literally not indicative of anything. This is just two guys smiling at you. This could have been a result of inbreeding, okay? Maybe it's like a lip curl because they're parents are also first cousins. All right? Listen, we don't know for sure, actually. Actually, we don't know for sure. So then there was a Dearborn City Council meeting right after this protest. So I'm going to show you some banger clips from the city council meeting. But before I show you what the actual protesters, like Cam Higbee, the guy that I was just showing his clips, also this Jake guy, this Jake Lang, the January 6th guy who was doing this, like they both spoke here. But before that, I have to show you what a very nice, kind, gentle Muslim fellow wanted to say to clear the name of his people.
I want to say a few things before I start. First of all, the word Sharia just means law. Saying Sharia law is saying law.
That's right. That's why we call it Sharia law, because law is a totally normal sentence. Exactly right. I knew it all along. I was bigoted. It says in Sharia that you're allowed to beat your wife and kill Christians, but it simply just meant law. What a bigot I was. What a bigot.
So it seems like there's quite a large group of individuals here who are intellectually inept. And if that word is too big for them, intellectually inept, I'll say it again, they can...
I'm not sure who he's talking to. I assume it's not the people that come from the countries with an IQ average of 70. I assume that that's not who he's referring to in this speech.
Google it later. But other than that, it is
I love how this dude is like, law, you fool, you absolute buffoon. Then why is it called Sharia law? Why isn't it just called Sharia? Interestingly enough, if you decide to like Google it, what does the word Sharia mean? It'll be like Sharia, the system of Islamic moral and legal guidance based on the teachings of the Quran and traditions of the Prophet, prescribing both religious and secular duties. It's generally been supplemented by legislation adapted to conditions of the day. Blah 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 blah. That's what Sharia obviously means. All right, it means law. You fool.
Credible that individuals who are charged with beating cops with bats are allowed to come to this city and say that they are going to take a holy book and burn it.
Oh, so you're against freedom of speech. All right, thank you. Very cool. What he's basically saying here, in case you were curious, what he's saying here is there was a guy who was at a January 6th protest, this Jake Long guy, and Jake Long showed up in Dearborn. Now, this should be illegal, he says. The right to speak, that should not be allowed for you. That's only allowed for us when we decide to light cars on fire. Lighting cars on fire, that's freedom of speech. Your words in my city, that is an illegal hate crime and you should go to jail forever. I'm really glad we're on the same page.
This is not free speech. And this
is actually. It literally is. That is literally peaceful protesting. Now, you know what's not peaceful protesting? Beating up people in college campuses because they don't have the same political ideology as you. That's actually not freedom of speech. Promoting and supporting terrorists? No, that's actually not protected by freedom of speech either, actually, it turns out. But all that is totally cool for these guys, right? They wanted to deport, that, whatever his name was, Hamoud, that guy, Mahmoud Khalil, for literally being a Hamas supporter, like a direct Hamas supporter, a guy that caused riots that were violent, that beat people up, that barricaded and locked people into libraries and classrooms. Like that guy, they defended for freedom of speech. But people going to the street and protesting, that is violence. Get on the same wavelength here.
I hate speech. This is speech that will initiate violence. That is correct.
You mean like, let's say from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free? Well, what is between the river and the sea that is preventing Palestine from being free right now? Oh, all the Jews. Oh, it literally means kill all the Jews in Israel. Okay. That's not inciting violence. Absolutely not. What about death to America? Does death to America count as inciting violence? You had mass riots and protests in here, Dearbornistan, Dearbornabad over here, literally cheering death to America. No, that's just freedom of speech. That doesn't actually incite any sort of violence. No, that's crazy. Now, saying Christ is king, on the other hand, well, that's inciting violence. That's obvious incitement of violence. We could see. I say death to America and globalize the intifada, which means stab people across the world in a global jihad. That's all fine. Saying Christ is king, on the other hand, that is not freedom of speech.
This will initiate violence. You are coming to come.
Ironically, the violence happened specifically on the other side. Like, think about it. All of these protests and riots, you didn't have a single Christian protester assaulting a Muslim guy. Not one. That's pretty weird.
And burn a book.
Burning a book? Again, not a nice thing to do. Don't get me wrong. I would never burn a Quran because I think it is disrespectful. but it's free speech. Excuse me.
that Muslims hold very dear to their heart.
Yeah, it's offensive. Yeah, they offended you. You are offended now. Grow up. Put on your big boy pants and get a haircut. Like, what are we talking about? This is crazy. Yeah. Inciting violence. Last time a Muslim died in New York, it was on 9/11. You burned the American flag. That's the exact
And
same thing.
another thing, Dearborn
Yeah, crazy, man.
is historic. It is
Dearborn is historic. This guy is intellectually deficient.
done many great things. In 2023, it received a silver award for environmental friendliness. Silver award in environmental friendliness by the state of Michigan.
Wow.
It has one of the largest
You mean Michigan is appeasing a population of people that they need to vote for them? That's crazy.
indoor historic museums.
Wow.
And
a
to
museum.
say that individuals can come and
Individuals can come to the museum. You are selling me on law right now.
harass your citizens.
You mean protest, like you have been doing constantly. Like, come on, dude. Like, dude, it's like the reason why this is like so funny is because these people monopolized. These people absolutely monopolized violent protests. Like the entire radical left, radical Islamic intersect over there, they monopolized violent protests. And they are now bitching and crying about peaceful ones. One peaceful one.
And who have beaten your cops. They want to talk about the protesters didn't respect your cops. No, in fact, that is false and is a two-way. It's a logical fallacy. It is a logical fallacy because they themselves do not respect the police officers here.
Huh?
One individual was policed. He was put into jail for 4 years because of that.
Wow, a guy was arrested on January 6th because he was a political prisoner because of some shit. And now, therefore, he should not be allowed in our city?
It is pathetic.
Like, so let me get this straight. Let me just get this straight. So you believe that anytime anyone committed any crime at any point, they should never be allowed to speak in public ever again? I totally agree. We are on the same page. No more releasing criminals. This would be look very bad for you guys specifically. I'm not trying to be rude here or racist. I'm just saying that statistically, this is a great idea. You are cooking right now.
It is pathetic and it should not be allowed. By no means necessary. And
we should prevent him from speaking because he did things we don't like. Okay? He didn't do something cool and hip, like raping your little cousin. This is crazy, man.
For us as Muslims, we believe in justice and we also believe in saying justice no matter who it's against. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kunu qawwamina bil nas. Whether it be against yourselves or anyone.
I agree with him. I agree in justice. Across the board justice.
Each one of us should look whether or not we are being true individuals of service.
True.
And Muslims are indeed peaceful. Indeed peaceful. Islam itself means to submit. The derivative is salam, which means peace. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love how it's like, listen, I just label myself peaceful and that's it. It's over. It's over. It's literally over. Yeah. The Proud Boys are just proud. So why do you hate them? Huh? Why are you complaining? Antifa is just anti-fascist. What do you mean? What do you mean? Bro, this is awesome. Oh, God. Islam comes from Islam, which means submit, which is the same exact thing as peace. So submit to us and we will...
I just want to say a few things.
If you don't submit, on the other hand. So anyway, let's just say that was a very nice and respectful speech given in City Hall. The next few are not nearly as peaceful.
I'm a journalist. I'm not a protester. This is my badge, okay? Today on the streets of Dearborn, I was pepper sprayed, maced by protesters because I asked them simply why they were harassing and touching another individual who had stated repeatedly that he was only on their side of the street to talk to them and have a dialogue. My phone was smashed. You can see the broken camera right there. They stole $50 out of my pocket and they stole my microphone receiver. I went and I told one of your officers, badge number 3668, that this had happened. He told me there was nothing that could be done about it unless I went to the station. I told him, I can't go to the station. I'm working. I'm doing my job. He said, I'm working too. I said, yeah, and your job is to protect me and all of the people that are out here today. Okay?
True.
So he said that I could go into the station later. I told him, you're never going to catch the guy if I go into the station later. He's going to leave. He's dressed head to toe in black bloc. I filmed the whole thing, but he had a mask on his face. You'll never, ever get an opportunity to arrest that person ever again if you don't go and get him right now. He said, sir, I can't leave my post. 5 minutes later, I caught him in the parking lot on a personal phone call. Okay? Repeatedly today, I watched people that are in this room get attacked by other people that are in this room. I watched your officers not respond to those attacks repeatedly. Then I saw somebody who was in this group, which again, I'm a journalist. I'm just documenting what's going on and I'm here to tell you what's going on. I saw somebody in this group get arrested. I asked the officers, habeas corpus, please articulate probable cause for arresting this person. They refused to. I asked name and badge number. They refused to give me their name and badge number as a member of the press with my badge clearly displayed. They would not tell me why they were arresting this person.
Wild.
They just did it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was exploring Dearborn. I came here just to document this from Seattle as a journalist. I was exploring.
Bro almost said I came to protest. No, I'm a journalist. Don't want you to get the wrong idea here. No, based.
Dearborn, I walked up and down Michigan Avenue. There wasn't very many people out. Then we wanted to hear the call to prayer that we've heard so much about. So we went to a mosque. And at that mosque, I was followed by a drone. If I moved forward,
yeah, I saw that.
The drone moved forward. If I went backwards, the drone went backwards. I went to a gas station, and that drone waited outside of the gas station, just above the door, for me to leave so it could begin following me again. I was followed by vehicles, and I was followed by individuals on foot. There was a lot of talk in here today about sexism. So I'd like to quote the Prophet Muhammad.
Oh,
okay? One of my favorite quotes from the Prophet Muhammad.
Oh, boy.
A woman's testimony.
Dude, never quote the Prophet Muhammad to a Muslim. This is bad. You can't do that.
Is worth half that of a man's due to the deficiency of her mind.
Oh, boy.
God created two sexes.
Oh, boy.
One superior and one inferior. That's why your women were.
Wait, is that an actual quote? Is that an actual quote from the Quran? Women are inferior? That's like actually in the book? Hold up. I got to fact check my guy right here. Hold up. I feel like if he was wrong though, they would immediately interrupt him and correct him because that's wild. That's actually crazy. Does the Quran directly say that women are inferior to men? Holy no, they were probably like true beast. The Quran doesn't contain a single verse stating it explicitly. Men are protectors and maintainers of women because Allah has given men more strength. All right. Women have rights similar to those of men. All right. Over them in kindness, and men are a degree above them. Yeah, no, what do you mean? That's literally. Hold up. Women have rights similar to those of men over them in kindness, and men are a degree above them. Yeah, that means they're inferior, right? I'm not trying to be rude here. I'm just trying to get to that same All right, cool.
Hijabs because they're inferior to men. That's why in most Muslim countries they can't leave their homes without permission of a male guardian. Is my time up?
Women can't leave their home without permission of a male guardian. Damn.
You have 30 seconds.
You had 30 seconds.
Oh, 30 seconds.
Yeah,
okay, great.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I shouldn't feel like a dhimmi in my country. That's what I feel like in Dearborn, Michigan. It doesn't feel like home. I feel like a dhimmi, a second-class citizen, which is what Christians are in the majority of Muslim countries. Dhimmis, second-class citizens. And the policing in this city, that's exactly what happens. And I know rank-and-file officers in pretty much every city usually want to take care of these problems. You're the one giving the orders, Mr. Mayor. These guys definitely want to do something about them.
Oh,
They're business. Look at them. These guys are all business.
Oh, boy, this is getting hairy.
Orders. I'm done.
Thank you. Okay.
God damn, bro, this is getting hairy out here. All right, so apparently the next guy goes off even harder.
He's got to keep it down.
In 1900, the world was 30% white. Fast forward 125 years.
This is the guy that everyone's like, actually, he's technically ethnically Jewish, so even though he's Christian but ethnically Jewish, he's therefore evil, and he is the instigator. I'm going to show you the deep dive into this retard situation. It's going to be fun.
We are down to 7%. The Islamification of Europe is particularly aimed.
Look at his shit-eating grin on the face of Mr. Mustafa A. Hamoud over here. That's wild.
At the destruction of white people.
Bro, look at her face, right? She's like not happy. His face, yes.
The Islamification of America is aiming to meet the same goal. Our people, white Christian, European, Western civilization, we built the arts. We built the Colosseum. We have ran the world into the industrial age. And now this people here, the Muslim community, is looking to drag us back. They're looking to oppress women, oppress homosexuals. They're looking to destroy everything that makes America great. President Trump, send ICE into Dearborn. These people are overstaying their visas. They're H-1B chain migration invaders, and they have come to this country to destroy our way of life.
Oh boy!
We know exactly your laws in your book about lying to our faces, pretending to be Americans, wearing your suits. But that doesn't happen anywhere else where you guys are in charge. There are 53 Muslim majority countries, and in all of them,
I'm noticing he's not smiling anymore.
it is tyranny, destruction, it is shithole living. We have to call
Bro.
it what it is. You guys don't live like we do. We don't want you in our country. We will come and get you in Somalia, okay? We don't need it here in Michigan. We don't need it in any part of America. We have a right to self-determination. Our founding fathers fought and died for our posterity, for white Americans.
Amen.
And we're being driven out. You come here and you marry 4 or 5 women and you outbreed us. You change the laws. You make all of our country look like the places that you fled from. We don't want you here.
Holy shit.
Respectfully, get the fuck out of my country.
Oh my
We don't want you.
Bro is popping the shit off. Oh my god. This is the wildest town hall meeting I've ever seen. Oh my god. Bro. Meanwhile, I mean, to be fair, the mayor of these guys literally kicked a Christian out of his city because he was against naming a street after a terrorist. So, like, I mean, to be fair, what goes around comes around. Bro's ulting.
I don't want to see. This is our country, and the people, the veterans, the World War II veterans, that's blood has soaked for our constitutional republic, are taking a look around Europe. They're taking a look around America, and they're saying, what the hell did we fight for? We have been taken over without a single shot fired. You guys are outbreeding, insidious parasites on the American way of life. You will never look like us.
Bro!
You won't build buildings like us. You are nothing, you can build nothing. Just like President Trump's great American friends have said. You guys are not us, and get the fuck out. America first, America only. God bless America. The Middle East, buddy. Jesus is king.
Oh my god, bro. This is the craziest pop-up I've ever seen. Oh boy.
Jesus is king.
And the police all escort him out, obviously.
Christ is king! There's no reason. Jesus is king.
Holy. Oh my god. So that's pretty crazy. That's wild. That's wild. So everyone's like shitting on him for being ethnically Jewish, I guess, despite the fact that he's clearly a Christian guy, which is definitely a weird hill to die on, I would say. Again, I would say, like, if you're simping for the wrong team, I think. But that's wild. So anyway, so this is the guy, you know, holding the cross. Jake Shields. Jake Shields, if you're not familiar with this guy's grift, Jake Shields blames everything on the Jews. He's one of those. And so Jake Shields shows up and is like, Muslims don't hate Christians, so I'm not sure what the point of this is. Do this in Brooklyn in a mostly Jewish community. Which, I mean, I could sit here and debunk forever exactly why this is unbelievably retarded. They do hate Christians. It's in the book, all right? May Allah curse the Jews and the Christians, for they took the graves of their prophets as places of worship. Sahih al-Bukhari, 1330, Sahih Muslim, whatever. Like, what are you talking about? You do realize there's, like, multiple Christian genocides going on throughout the world right now, perpetrated by Muslims. Saying that Muslims don't hate Christians is wild. It really is wild. Look, man, Jews, a lot of Jews, do not approve of the Christian religion. There aren't Jewish terrorist attacks against Christians literally anywhere on the planet. Literally anywhere. In fact, ever throughout all of history, I don't think there's ever been instances of, you know, religious Jewry gathering together to massacre Christians. I don't think it ever happened in all of history. There were Christians that massacred Jews, you know, 1,000 years ago or whatever. But if you look at modern day, bro, Nigeria used to be a Christian majority country. Now it's not. 125,000 Christians were murdered there. Libya, Syria, Egypt, Jordan, Lebanon. These all used to be Christian majority countries. Not anymore. Now they are vastly Muslim majority countries. I wonder how that happened. The only place in the entire Middle East where the Christian population actually increased by 414% over the last 50 years was Israel, where thousands and thousands more Christians moved in there and outbred there compared to any other place in the entire Middle East where the population's dwindled. I wonder why that happened. Anyway, so this is such a wild tweet, and like this guy is obviously, he's super all in on the grift. The grift of how actually Jews are the problem in a protest of Christians and Muslims. So this is awesome. I love the Abrahamic religions, man. So anyway, Jake Shields, let me just prove to you for just like 1 second. Look at his pinned tweet. His pinned tweet denies the Holocaust. That's literally his pinned tweet. This man's entire personality. His entire personality is Jews are all evil. They're controlling everything. Every time a Muslim kills a Christian in Nigeria, it's secretly because some Jew is pushing a button somewhere else. That's how this dude runs his life. His literal pinned tweet is Holocaust denial. Which again, I believe everyone has the right to speak. All right, I believe everyone has the right to speak. I believe in his freedom of speech. This is not trying to cancel him or anything like this, even though he always claims that people are constantly trying to cancel him. I just think he's retarded because, like, the Holocaust is one of those things that has overwhelming evidence proving it. To be fair, someone in my chat just said, to be fair, Thomas, the first martyr of Christianity, was stoned by Jews. How long ago was that? 2,000 years ago? During the days of the early church, Jews hunted Christians. Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's fair. Jews did kill Christians in the early days of the church, for sure. That is true. I'm talking about terrorist attacks, within the last 2 millennia specifically. But I guess that's a bar. Anywho, the point that I guess we could list this back and forth throughout all of history. But this dude obviously has Candace brain syndrome of some sort. It's pretty wild. It is pretty wild. I mean, look at the Spanish Inquisition and the Crusades. Like, these are 1,000-year-old instances of Christians killing Jews, but ultimately that's not relevant, here in 2025. But anywho, so that's this guy. Matt Walsh calls him out. Muslims have been killing Christians for 1,400 years. They're killing Christians across the world right now as we speak. Islamic countries are flooding our countries with immigrants who hate us. This is brain dead nonsense. He's like, wait a second, this Jake Shields guy is supposedly a right-wing commentator. Why is he doing this? Jake Shields says, did Ben make you write this tweet, bro? Bro cannot respond to a single tweet without blaming a Jew. This is wild. This is absolutely wild. That was Spain killing Muslims, yeah, and tons of Jews got killed as well. That's just a fact. So anyway, Christians have killed more than 20 times as many Muslims in the past 30 years than Muslims have killed Christians. What? Christians have killed more than 20. I didn't even read this through before. I just saw you replied. Christians have killed more than 20 times as many Muslims in the past 30 years than Muslims killed Christians? This is just completely untrue. What? I don't want to bring more over, but this is a diversion. That's right. The Jews are doing a diversion by getting Christians and Muslims to fight on the streets of Dearborn, Michigan. Hey, compare Muslim persecution of Christians versus vice versa. Which one is worse? Muslim persecution of Christians is far worse and more systematic, driving Christianity near extinction in the Middle East, killing thousands annually via Islamist groups like Boko Haram, that's Nigeria, and ISIS. Open door tallies over 5,000 faith-related Christians deaths yearly, mostly in Muslim contexts. Reverse persecutions by Christians lack equivalent scale or intent in the past 30 years. Jake's 20 times claim miscompares geopolitical war casualties, not faith-driven, to targeted religious killings. Yeah, so obviously retarded. So Matt Walsh says, this is full-on anti-Christian propaganda, totally indistinguishable from the far left. Muslims are persecuting Christians across the globe and have been for thousands of years. You're literally giving me Antifa talking points in support of the Islamization of American cities. Embarrassing. You almost got to realize what these people think when you actually start to talk about them. It's pretty insane. Okay, I have my chat debating the Crusades right now. If you want me to actually discuss the Crusades, I think that the Crusades were largely justified. That said, a lot of Jews were killed anyway. From a Jewish historical context, the Crusades were bad. From a Christian historical context, the Crusades were justified. That's my opinion. So anyway, anywho, this Cam Higbee guy that I was just showing, he has been doing these debates, these Charlie Kirk-inspired debates, and he actually debated a couple of Muslim people. And this might be one of the wildest debate prompts ever. Someone just sent this to me in chat, but apparently this is from a week ago or something. I help Muslim understand why children are off limits. Oh my God, I can't believe we're living in this time. This is in America, right? Oh no, oh no, oh no.
You have sex when you're an adult and you're able to consent. You can't consent at 9.
That applies to today's time because that's what's socially acceptable right now.
Right.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Hot take. All right. Fair. All right. Let's see. Parlay. Touche. All right. Let's see. Now the obvious logic is, people got married young, really young as kids back in the day. Right. That's one point. All right. That is one point.
I don't think that it should have ever been socially acceptable to have sex with a 9-year-old, and especially if you believe that Muhammad is a reflection of God.
Can I explain something to you really quick? There's a lot of context to what you guys are saying that is not being addressed. So if we're talking 1,400 years ago, when you're talking about Aisha marrying the Prophet, okay, and having sex with the Prophet, at that time period in history, the life expectancy of humans was very different, and the age that people were having sex or getting married or having babies was a lot different than today's time period.
That's not true. Women were actually menstruating. It took them longer to reach the age of maturity because they didn't have as much nutrients. The age of...
I feel like we have evolved as a society to recognize that actually getting married at an older age is better. The reason why this is such a retard argument is because there are still children getting married at the age of 8 to this day. Like this is like an insane argument, because like if it would actually be like, yeah, it used to be like that, it's not actually a good thing, then it would have stopped, right? But they're still marrying 8-year-olds in Yemen and Syria, for example. So
Maturity and the reaching of puberty and menstruation is actually sooner now than it was in the past.
At that time in
Puberty.
Yeah, they had less nutrition. All right, I have a scientific source right here. If anyone wants to take a picture of it, go read it.
India, it was very normal for women to get married at that age and to have children at that time.
Well, okay, first of all, if it was normal, that doesn't mean it was right, okay? We're not doing a cultural relativism, right? Just because it was normal. But if we're talking about biologically,
the context of the society.
These are two different claims, all right? So one,
this is a weird defense from her perspective. I'm not gonna lie, this might be a pretty weird defense. Like, I would have been like, yeah, that was bad, actually. Well, like, why are we justifying it so much? Like, bro, he married Aisha when she was 6. She was 6 years old when she got married. Like, you know?
Is they were marrying young, which was the case in some places. 2 is it's because they were maturing earlier. Yeah. That one is false. They were maturing later.
Well, what's right to you, what you're saying is right, is what's socially acceptable. That's what you're saying.
No, I don't believe
it. In what society is raping an 8-year-old right? Like, what is this line of attack? This is diabolical. What are we doing? Like, literally, what are we doing?
I don't
You're
believe
saying in our time period right now, it's not socially acceptable for children, for what you said, 14, 13.
In what time period is it acceptable for 8-year-olds to get married? It also, by the way, it's still happening now.
8-year-olds to have sex. It's not socially acceptable, right?
That's because
yes
we know
no?
more.
Yes
That's
no?
because we
yes
know more about.
Yes or
that's
no?
Because we know more about reality. We know that this harms children when you marry them off.
All right, someone told me that this isn't even the best of his debates on this specific topic. They just linked me this one instead. Oh my god, dude, this is a rabbit hole.
He is the most revered man in the entirety of the religion. He a 9-year-old girl and married a 6-year-old.
So what defines a child again? Because in Islam is defined.
I'm not going to define what a child is for you. A 6-year-old is a child. She was playing.
Define a child. Oh god. Bro, what are we doing?
With dolls when he raped her.
Are all these Muslims here?
What's that? A 6-year-old is a child. She was playing with dolls when he raped her.
Are all these Muslims here?
What's that?
Like, how are all these Muslims here in the United States?
Sorry.
How are all the Muslims here in the United States?
Well, they either follow our laws or they go to jail.
Yeah, most Muslims in the U.S. are so assimilated into Western culture, which is great and is against pedophilia, that they are also against pedophilia. I would imagine most of you are against, and that's good. To the extent that some of you are even stretching and saying, actually, Aisha was 19. It's just not true. You're stretching because you believe in Western values, right? You recognize yourselves that American and Western values are not compatible with Islam. You agree with us when you say that. When you say Aisha was 19, you agree with what we're saying. You recognize your own religion is not compatible with our values. And again, I do appreciate that you guys aren't supporting
what defines
marrying?
Bros really like, actually define pedophilia.
A child.
What is a child? What is a child?
What is a child, bro? This is not gonna have the what is a woman effect, all right? I don't think this is working, man.
Anyone? Let's start at 6.
Like, when someone says, what even is a child, though? That's over. It's over, bro.
Listen, in the United States, under 18 is a child.
I'm gonna read you a hadith real quick.
Another hadith.
Yeah, another hadith. Sahih al-Bukhari 5134, highest rated hadith, Sahih rated. Right. That the Prophet Muhammad married her when she was 6 years old and consummated his marriage when she was 9. He's a 9-year-old girl, Aisha. He is the most revered man in the entirety of the religion. He a 9-year-old girl and married a 6-year-old.
So what defines a child again?
What even defines a child, though? I mean, she was 6, but like, how are we defining? This might be the worst debate I've ever seen in my life.
Because in Islam is defined.
I'm not gonna define what a child is for you. A 6-year-old is a child. She was playing with dolls when he raped her.
No, a person who enters into puberty in Islam is defined as an adult. That's why 13.
So let's get this straight.
Go into war.
So let's get this straight. You think it's okay to have sex with people who had puberty?
Right now, I'm saying.
But you're acknowledging that in Islam, it's okay to have sex with people who have had puberty.
I'm not acknowledging that. I'm saying in Islam, and the adult is defined by someone who has reached the age of puberty.
So you are acknowledging that in Islam, it's okay to marry and have sex with people who have reached puberty. Yes. Okay. So
not being explicit. Oh, dude, I hope Cam over here has security.
I also believe that having sex with people just who have hit puberty is incompatible with the West. 14-year-olds hit puberty all the time. You can't have sex with 14-year-olds. I'm sorry, Muslims.
So why was the age of consent so low inside the United States? It was like 14 or 12.
Yeah, and it changed.
Up until...
At any point that the age of marriage was 14 or 12, that's wrong, and we changed it.
So who defines it as wrong? Like who
defines raping a child as wrong? Bro, this dude, they did not send their best. They did not send their best.
Do you reject the fact that marrying 14-year-olds is wrong?
I'm not rejecting anything.
So you think it's okay to marry 14-year-olds?
I did not say that.
You refuse to say it's wrong.
This dude refuses to say literally anything.
I'm saying I'm not expressing my opinions.
Are you a Muslim?
As a Muslim, if you reach the age of puberty, you are allowed to be married.
Can you condemn having sex with 14-year-olds?
I'm not condemning anything.
Okay, so here we have a Muslim who refuses to condemn pedophilia.
I'm saying
zero surprises.
So what is?
I'll be real here. Like, not trying to be racist or anything. I would not want this dude to be anywhere near like my family. Like personally, like him as an individual, like on an individual level. This guy personally. Wow. All right.
This is like the thing where like, actually, I'm not a pedophile. We don't like it's common in the United States.
And all these guys are shitting on like Trump for Jeffrey Epstein shit. Bro, Jeffrey Epstein, like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, these guys will call Trump a pedophile with zero evidence that Trump ever did anything. And then they'll turn around and justify raping children.
It's in the West used to encompass a range of things like hebephile. Okay, Muhammad was a hebephile. Okay, that's so much better. It's actually that's also bad. That's also illegal.
Why was the age of consent so low up until a couple years ago then?
A couple years ago? That was evil. That was wrong. And also we had
They changed it. I don't understand. They literally changed it.
Hold on. We had advancements.
Yeah, that slavery was a thing too, and they stopped it actually.
Listen.
Whereas in certain other countries there still is slavery.
We had advancements where in science where we were able to see all of the harms that were caused on children when they were marrying so young. There's so much research out on this. You guys can watch Daniel Hakikachu's debate with Inspiring Philosophy on child marriage. It's on YouTube. He cites all sorts of.
Nux, you have to watch Daniel Hakikachu's debate with Andrew Wilson. I don't think I have time or patience. All right, we'll do it real quick. All right, so someone sent me the timestamp of this debate. All right, this timestamp.
A feminist and egalitarian.
They said watch Andrew Wilson's opening statement. That's what my chat said.
That's for sure. But he's far weaker on politics than myself and the nature of the world. The second is that he's an above average debater, but he ain't quite God tier. See, if I were Daniel and fighting from his worldview, I'd point out Christianity is fractured and weak. That Christianity is totally...
So this is a debate on what creates better societies, Christianity or Islam?
Incapable of fighting back against the degeneracy of our time. Its impotence has led to social categories of degeneracy at levels nobody could have predicted, especially with the advent of the internet. I would point out Muslim societies don't work that way. That Muslims have feminism and degen...
You said 2224, someone said, is the good part. All right, that's where we're going to wrap up the video, man.
Islamic society...
Oh my God, he brought out a PowerPoint. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh no. His argument against Muslim societies is going to be inbreeding. There's no way.
These breed an inbred population.
Oh,
Next slide, please.
Oh boy.
Muslim inbreeding has been occurring at a high rate for about 1,400 years since the early Islamic period, encompassing most of the land still occupied by Islam today.
That's his whole debate. Someone in my chat says he just calls him inbred for over an hour straight. Are you serious? That's the craziest debate tactic I've ever seen.
It spread from the 8th to the 15th century, moved into Persia, North Africa, South Asia, where it remains and has created some of the dumbest fucking human beings on planet Earth. The most common type of inbreeding is first cousin marriage.
Oh my God,
the rates of first cousin marriage in comparison to Christian nations is staggeringly high, even in comparison to regions occupied by Arab Christians. When a nation has both Christians and Muslims, Muslims are often double or higher than Christians. Example, India, Lebanon. Next slide, please.
He's like, Christianity's weak. You're like, yeah, but you're inbred and retarded. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Muslim inbreeding. Oh, sorry about that. Pakistan at 65%. 65%, meaning more likely than not.
Yeah, there's something about importing entire communities of these that doesn't sound super good, actually, for society.
you're having sex with your cousin, and if you're not, you're the weird one.
Oh, God.
Okay? For the low IQ members of MDD, that means these people are more likely than not having sex with their aunts or uncles' children.
Ooh.
Whew, Saudi Arabia, 58%, with an average 76 IQ. Who would have thunk it?
Oh, there can't be a correlation by any chance.
UAE, 54%, 82 IQ. The crown jewel of the Arab world, you are more likely than not to be banging your first cousin. Iran, 40%. 80 IQ. Yemen, 45%, 62.9 IQ. Qatar, 30%, 80.8 IQ. Now, we're going to continue, right? Oman, 36%, 78. Syria, 39%, 74 IQ. Turkey, 25%, 86 IQ. Jordan, 32%, 80 IQ. Egypt, 32%, 76 IQ. It goes on and on and on, and it just never gets better. Next slide, please. Thank you. Compared to Christian countries, let's take a look.
God.
Usually less than 1%.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder why Christians build better societies, ladies and gentlemen.
Bro,
now, let's
this is
keep
the craziest
going.
debate I've ever seen in my life.
We want to pull up the slide here, moving right along. As countries become more Christian, inbreeding declines, right? We can see this from church intervention in Spain, 20 to 30%.
Okay, that's a ride. That's a ride. So he does this for an hour? He just spends an hour calling him inbred again and again?
And take their resources, always appealing to the mightier force for their existence and the benevolence of that very people group who Daniel today is arguing doesn't make better societies, which is a laughable proposition. Even absent the degeneracy of a people group must be able to competently defend itself or bank on the benevolence of the people group, which can.
I don't want to get involved, right? This is not my fight at all. I'm just saying there's 1 billion Muslims trying to kill 10 million Jews in the Middle East. And literally cannot seem to do it. This might be one of the most diabolical debates of all time. Like, I mean, the argument is pretty simplistic. I'm just gonna skip through it. I want to see what.
Better than Islam is a cousin marriage argument. That's shocking because it just works so far against you.
What?
So if IQ is the end all,
the cousin marriage argument works against you. Actually, having supple, fertile cousins is an advantage.
All of what makes a society good, then Christianity loses to atheism and secularism. Case closed. So and many Christian societies.
The debate isn't about secularism. The debate is about Christianity and Islam.
These are low IQ as in the same way as certain Muslim countries. The thing about the difference between me and you is my values are based on marriage, family, traditional values of that nature, not atheistic values of IQ and intelligence.
The atheist value of not being a retard. Holy crap! What am I listening to? All right.
Libtard value. Don't fuck your first cousin, libtard.
True.
Let me just point out that Daniel Kikikachu didn't actually rebut any of my arguments. Not a single one. My argument was simple, and I'll repeat it here again.
Oh, boy.
The argument is that your society has to rely on the benevolence of mind to exist because of your general IQ. You see, remember how I told you this?
Bro is malding.
70 to 85 is basic jobs, practical skills, routine labor. That's most Muslim societies, sir. Doesn't matter if you point out two exceptions to the rule. Even in those societies in which Christians have a lower IQ, guess what you find? Their interbreeding rates are going down, and when you compare them to the same Arab population where they're inbreeding, that section of the population, the IQ is always lower. So what's my argument here? My argument is that Christian societies are better because they lower inbreeding, which collectively takes your IQ so far down the rabbit trail that you end up having to beg the higher IQ individuals for protection from them.
I feel like I'm just watching some guy bully a special needs kid. All right, we're calling the video here. Anyway, the invasion is retarded. See you in the next one. Bye. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, man.